I can't.
Brand new banger. You're jamming with the hottest disc jockey. Exclusive hot new mix.
This DJ is breaking all the knobs off.
Let's go. Hot shit. Here it comes.
I can't before the baggage.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi Reality. We are back again with this case of mystery. I don't know what we are chasing. You are chasing mystery or chasing a case, but we are here. And guys, if you see us that we are not connecting, you must know that we're going to connect as much as we try. Due to this so-called load shedding, we don't know how much the damage it does to our connection. So, for instance, I would have a proper connection. Emil would have a difficulty in connecting. So, because the two systems are not talking to each other, then we end up having a problem. So, as now, by past, I was sitting on my side. I was trying to connect.
But it was telling me, shedding.
Yes, it was telling me that we have a problem. So expect the glitches. I don't know how much they're gonna be, and I'm hoping that we're gonna be smooth because on our side we have backup electricity. We are trying by all means to use it to effect. But the problem with this load shedding, it disturbs other connections. So on my side, probably my fiber would have a problem. I don't know. But bear with us, and I'm hoping that these problems are not going to continue, not going to happen, because we have like load shedding. I think if I was to estimate, I would say almost half of a country. Yeah. So Emily, today there are a lot of mysterious things that were said. As we continue saying this, I've been seeing you guys communicating. We're glad that you guys have a place to vent on the comment. Keep them coming. We are going to project them. Do not hesitate to say what you think.
What you really
think.
And
as you do that, smash the like button. If you are not able to comment, that means you are not a subscriber. Please subscribe so that you can be able to comment. We don't block anyone here.
No.
We have storers. We have people who can say mean things.
Trolls.
They troll.
It's freedom of speech.
It's freedom of speech. We are not here to police or fight anyone. We are here to talk.
Yes.
And if you feel that when you need to vent on how we look, it's okay. It's all right. Exercise it. We are going to continue.
But we are not going to stop talking about this case.
No.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I see the chat is lit.
It was buzzing before.
I've never seen our chat so busy just before we go live, and here I was panicking that the connectivity thingies are not doing what they're supposed to do. But I'm glad that we are able to bring you this live today. Tumelo was on the stand again. Yeah. Today he didn't cry. Thank you, Jesus.
He was laughing, in fact. He had a sense of humor.
He was even very, very enforcing on some of the things that he would say. He'd be like, no, I didn't say this. I tried to say that.
Yeah.
You know, he was very much...
what I've realized is that he understands English because he can sort of speak it.
He's translating for himself.
Yeah, the guy is just there to chow that mind of translation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for the accused.
I put a picture of him in his crutches. That picture comes from the documentary.
Yes.
The footage was on the week. Was it on the not on the week actually? On the following day after the incident happened. Most of the footage was collected with them moving around. In the documentary, he was spotted with those crutches that he said he received in Durban. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was very interesting.
What is also interesting is that he seems to remember certain things vividly. and then he forgets them completely. Some of the crucial part. Well, lead us, Emily, with your good narrative skill.
The trial resumed with Tumelo Madlala still on the stand being questioned by prosecutor advocate Baloyi.
Yeah.
He began by recapping how Madlala yesterday described how Meyiwa laid after being shot in October 2014 at the Vosloorus khumalo family home.
Yes.
And Madlala said that Meyiwa laid on his left-hand side between the living room couch and the TV stand. Baloyi pulled up a picture of the living room showing the couch and the TV stand. There were a few blood droplets near the area.
Yeah.
It's what I referred to earlier, that Senzo's blood was not flowing. It was just blood drops on the floor, Madlala said. Baloyi also showed a zoomed-in picture of the blood droplets, and Madlala commented by saying that those blood droplets are on the floor where he was laying. So Madlala also said that after the gunshot, the house was packed with other people.
Just before you go to the part of people who were packed in the house, I think the blood, we need to clarify that based on my research. And just a quick one, Emil.
Yeah.
When yesterday we talked about the soccer game,
Yes.
they did ask about the soccer game.
They did.
That's well and good. As much as people were, some of them were. Yes, the game started at 6, guys.
Yes. We are 2 hours behind the UK.
Yes, there was a one of the subscribers who was very friendly in educating us about the issues in UK and how it works.
Yes.
I think they rewind the clock on
2 hours behind.
Yeah, I don't know
on a
why.
Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's how it is. And
On a Sunday, it's 2 hours. They rewind it 2 hours. So thank you for that lecture.
Thank you very much for that lecture, because I've never been in UK myself.
Yes.
I don't think I'll go there until our diamonds come back. But on the issue of the game, what was my interest in that was not whether the game started at 4 or 5. What my interest was that was he still watching it? If he was watching it and it was live, that would have been the interesting thing, because then the game, if you check, it finished before 8, right?
Yes.
So that's where I was going. I was trying to align the timelines. I was not necessarily interested that much in a game, whether it started at 5 or 6. My interest was on the fact that if he was watching the game when all this happened, and strategically, the MPA asked that question. I don't know if you all catch
What
that.
what a coincidence.
A serious coincidence.
I was like, wow, what a coincidence. Mr. Anonymous, they're asking about the game, the time.
Imagine. They are not watching us. They are just sleeping.
No.
They are tired. I mean,
They are tired.
They just happen to dream about what Mr. Anonymous said.
Yes.
Okay. So that was if it was live, and people were talking about what if they were watching the old. No, it was not an old game. At the time, if you remember, there was what we call. I used to work for that company that provides those things. It was a PVR. It was just called the PVR at the time. So I'm not sure if it was recording or it had only a function of reversing and pausing.
I think it also had a recording feature.
Because the first one that came after the Explorer, I remember getting it for free. They gave that thing to us to go and test it, and then we kept it like that. I just changed it a couple of days ago, because it was now giving me problem.
Okay.
After they realized that I didn't want to change it, I really believe that they started pushing viruses on that thing. it had hiccups. I couldn't record. When I reverse, it was just doing. I would forward, it would reverse. And then I was forced then to buy they kept on calling and saying, can you change to a new, we see you have an Explorer, an old Explorer, can you change to the new Explorer? And then all of a sudden I get this problem. Well, it's a topic for another day. I did manage them to buy a new one. Yeah, so that being said, I think it's out of the line. What I was trying to establish there is a timeline of when this happened. Now, Emily, the issue of blood, in my research, because as I'm listening there, I'm also taking notes and as a judge of public opinion, I'm also taking notes so that I can lead the evidence. So it would make sense if the blood was not flowing that much, because normally when you are shot, depending on how you were shot, you bleed internally.
Okay.
That's why you see many people, even in movies, when they try to speak, as a friend explained, that Senzo tried to speak. I was, for that reason, actually, on Netflix, I would like to know that friend who was also playing soccer. Was it a soccer friend?
Yes.
Who said when he tried to speak, it was blood. I would like to know when and where was that?
He?
Yeah.
Because he's the very same one who convinced Kelly to bring back the car and bring back the stuff that belonged to Senzo to bring it back to the family.
If you are going
I'd like to hear from him, because he said when he tried to speak,
Senzo had
blood.
his last word there around that time. So obviously that means that he met them somewhere, or he might have been in the house. I would like to really know where that happened, but it's a story for another day, because I think we might be coming to that direction. I'm saying this thing on purpose, remember?
Yeah.
Because if you are going to go around and say things, you need to prove them, like Dumi is proving them now, right?
Yeah.
How he's proving them?
Advocate Balo is assisting him too.
How he's proving them? We are going to see. Continue then.
So as to who the other people were, by Judge Maumela, Madlala said that it's people from outside.
Yeah.
People who were not there.
Yeah.
I think it's the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
End quote. Madlala adds that they then tried to carry Meyiwa, who he says was heavy, and take him to his car.
Yeah.
I don't know the others who had arrived, but they also assisted us in taking him to the vehicle. I can't remember how many we were that carried Meyiwa.
You know, for the people that I loved, that I've carried their body to the graves, I normally remember people that I've carried that body with. Well, there was someone who talked about being drunk and doing that drunk. I don't think, no matter, as long as you can stand and be able to carry the body and not drop it, that means you are tips. So you still would remember who carried who, you know? This is my opinion. I can understand that you remember the position, you remember everything, and then it just happened who was holding Senzo's foot. And you still go further and remember how he was lying in a car, who was sitting where, but you forgot who was helping you.
Carry him. And with the crutches.
And that is a crime on its own, because that means now you were interfering with a scene of crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime on its own. I hope that that will also be raised, because such then someone must be arrested for such. Yeah.
Madlala said that he can remember what he was holding, that he was holding Meyiwa from the back, grabbing him underneath his armpits. So he was holding him here.
Yes.
Right. He adds that others were carrying his torso and legs.
Yeah.
Madlala, however, added that his mind was not focused on who was carrying where Senzo Meyiwa was facing while being carried. Madlala said that they put Meyiwa in his BMW X6 vehicle. On where Meyiwa's car was parked, Madlala said that it was no longer where it was parked, that it is at the opening of the yard. It was now on the side that was written in white, written Spaza.
Pause there, because there is a scramble of eggs here. And we need to clarify that part. It might have came after all this question and then the case of Long. There was a Polo parked behind the BMW. Now, a very interesting question is that as Longwe ran out And if my memory served me very well, no one knows when Longe came back, or did he come back, or no one knows that, right?
Right.
Who drove that Polo? Moved the Polo of the, after so that the BMW can change the position, because I would think then the Polo was locking the BMW, right?
Yes.
It was behind. That's a position. You'll hear, guys, as we go on, according to this testimony, that the Polo was behind.
There's
the red
the longest car.
Yeah,
a car that's assumed to be longest behind the BMW X6.
He even remembered that Polo properly, vividly, because it went on to go to visit also at Mulbarton. So he was even sure that it was longest Polo. So the question is, because it disappeared, I don't know, did it disappear, take a car and after, I don't know.
Remember, he was running.
Yes, that's my thinking.
Point.
Because I don't think a car runs. A car drives fast. It doesn't run. So he was running.
And his phone was in the pocket.
And then it was in the house. Yes. So those are the things that I'm interested in knowing exactly what happened. Because who moved that car? Was the key left behind or anything? You know, that's what I want to know. But continue, Amy. I just wanted to clarify that before the moving of the car, it's very important. We don't need to jump, because the way evidence is given, it's scrambled, right?
It is.
Now we need to put it into perspective and put it into order and run with it. Yeah.
Baloyi pulled up a picture showing the X6 in the driveway, and Madlala said that was where it was parked originally. When Meyiwa was put in the car, Madlala added that the car was parked at the front of the house with Spaza Tuck Shop written in white. Madlala described how they put Meyiwa in the car, saying he was in the back seat with Senzo Twala and his Senzo's friend, as well as Zandile Khumalo, who is Kelly Khumalo's sister.
Hey.
Senzo was facing upwards when we put him in the car. What I can remember, he was wearing shorts and white Puma tekis.
Listen to that. This person remembers even the brand that Senzo was wearing. This person remembers he was wearing a short. The only thing this man cannot remember properly, that Msholo is gonna need to help us help this man remember is who carried Senzo to the car. You know, that is, I think I plead with that, because it is important that we know who, because I mean, you can't remember the shoes and all that. Remember that the watch was taken out.
There's one item missing, his top. The top that he was wearing. Maybe that will also help in jogging the memory.
Remember where the bullet went in on the left side.
Yes.
And forget who was assisting you, but let us continue.
Helping you carry your friend.
Not to mention that you were also walking on two crushers. And you were carrying the most heaviest part of the body without your crushers, right?
Without your crutches.
You were just carrying the most heaviest part of the body alone, because your friend, you know, we need to know those things. We need
to know, where did the crutches at that point go, and how were you walking with cement on your foot? You know, it must have been very interesting.
Yes, it's very important to know that. We want to know that.
Madlala said that Kelly Khumalo drove the car to the hospital.
Yes.
I quote, he said, "I can recall that while driving, Kelly was hitting the speed humps hard and Zandi was reprimanding her." Madlala adds.
Listen to that. He's remembering
the humps.
The incidents of what happened along the way. This sounds like a guy who's very calm, collected, and his focus was to help the friend at the time, but he remembers the events of what happened. Yes, continue, Emil.
On the hole in the t-shirt, Madlala said that before they left the scene, a lady gave him a light blue face cloth that Madlala used it to place on the hole where the blood was coming from.
Yes.
All right, there was blood coming from the hole because There were newspapers in the car, and those newspapers had blood, Madlala said.
Yes.
So Judge Maumela asked for a few minutes to go out and deal with his sneezing.
Yes.
And just before he asked for that, the phone was ringing. And what I heard from the Twitter streets is that phone was Judge Maumela's phone.
I also heard that. And he made a joke saying that if it was a person, I would have asked this person to go out if it was according to me. Something like that. Well, we are not sure. We were not in court, but we heard the noise. So we had to put a person behind the noise, right? Right.
And then afterwards, he was asking for 5 minutes to go sneeze. He thought he needed to sneeze. So, yeah.
Did he sneeze in the court?
Afterwards, he was carrying tissues.
Yeah.
I saw tissues. I saw tissue activities.
You might sound insensitive. You see the problem with the breaks that happen unexpectedly. They kind of disturb the rhythm. It's like a cool down time. And we must talk about that because that's a cool down time that allows the person to compose themselves and come back anew.
So that was very interesting that his phone was ringing so much. And then he asked for a break for 5 minutes to go sneeze. Very interesting.
Yes.
So Judge Maumela asked for a few minutes to go out and deal with his sneezing. Okay, Judge Maumela returned and court resumed with Baloyi asking at which stage the blood started flowing from the alleged bullet hole. And then Madlala said, I didn't notice as to which time the blood started flowing because Mtogo also had blood. I also had blood because I was covering where the blood was coming from, Madlala said.
So this man remembers that Mtogo had blood, but you can remember who helped you carry the man. You remember a blood on Mtogo, not on you, because I would say it's your trauma of seeing your friend's blood on you. But you also remember who else had the blood. Okay, let us continue.
It would have been interesting if the items that had blood were also collected, all of them.
Unfortunately, I mean,
Our
if the
SAPS.
call, if the phone of Mtogo was not collected, that should tell you something.
He added that they arrived at Butsilong Hospital, requested for a stretcher, but the hospital staff brought a wheelchair.
On what grounds? Continue.
Okay. He said they then brought a stretcher, they placed him on it and went to the other side.
I thought you were going to read the part where he said they actually offered them a wheelchair and then they refused the wheelchair. They wanted a stretcher. Do they have any knowledge of medical? Was there anyone who had the knowledge of medical things of how a person should be handled and all that? I doubt, right? Because of the way they were carrying him from the house
Into the car.
Why specifically the stretcher? Because I mean, if I believe that Emily, you are still alive, this is where I'm going.
A wheelchair suffices. You are taking him to the emergency
I
room.
would not argue anything
with the medical
because
staff.
I don't know anything that is medical. Why should you require something that is going to make a person lie down if you believe that your friend was still alive? I mean, that's a question. That's a very interesting thing.
That's an important question.
Yeah, I just think about these things.
Wow, Mr. Anonymous, you're brilliant. Wow, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was wow, let me continue. They then brought a stretcher. They placed him on it and went to the other side. We remained there on the benches, Madlala testified.
Yeah.
After a while, the nurses appeared with a picture of an x-ray. The nurse requested for an elderly person, my apologies. And Kelly's mother came forward. Kelly's mother then came to us crying, Madlala said.
Yeah.
So this is a problem for me.
So right away,
this for me.
Right away, this person gets an X-ray. Do we have that X-ray in any case?
We'd like to know what happened to that X-ray.
Because if we have that X-ray, then we'll have a person who performed that X-ray. that person would be in position of telling us whether Senzo was still alive or not. And if he was not alive, we would need to know, why did you do an X-ray on a dead body?
And to my radiographers, how long does it take to get X-rays back?
Exactly.
And did you have to be called in? Like, how long does the whole process take to do an X-ray on an emergency
I know for sure, because I had a kid whom I thought he broke something. So I went to test. There's this, it's a journey. You go in that hospital, it's a different hospital, obviously. It's a journey. You have to wait there while they are turning you, twisting you. And then after that, it took about, I would say, 30 minutes. It was at night. 30 minutes for them to come. And it was not busy. So it was at night around 9, if I'm not mistaken. It took about 30 minutes for them to come back with that X-ray, and they said everything was fine.
So the whole doing of X-ray, right?
Yeah.
So when you put together, what time can you estimate? Can you estimate only the 30 minutes when the X-ray came back, or is it an hour?
Look, considering that when I talk about my baby, my baby was walking, was able to walk, it was in the hand. So it was a quick thing because of that. So with Senzo, I would doubt that he was able to stand, because he was going to walk.
Remember, they took him with a stretcher.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So he was not able to walk. So that means you need to turn this person and do all these things, right?
And you need to be careful.
Yeah, so I think...
Who did the X-rays? Was it a radiographer or a nurse?
That's why I'm saying, if we can get that person, then that person would have to answer a few questions about Senzo's status at the time. How was he looking like? Was he still breathing when you did this X-ray or not? Because that X-ray would be able to then to tell us a record was recorded by a nurse or a radiographer, about Senzo. There is that information. There should be that information. They keep that information, right? Yeah.
She, Khumalo, then informed us that Senzo had passed away.
She was crying.
So we move from the X-ray nurse requesting an elderly person to come forward. Then Kelly's mom comes back crying, and then Kelly's mom informs them that Senzo had passed away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Everyone then started crying. I then requested to go and see him, and we went, and he was shown to us. Madlala testified. So she, Khumalo, okay, I've read this part. The nurse brought me some water because the nurse made me sit in a place that looked like a kitchen.
This was when, because I'm remembering this from the back of my head. I was working while
Hey, multitasking. Guys.
So listen, this is the second attempt to go check on Senzo after I've been told that he has passed away. So now you went in by force, by the way, because the nurses were refusing. And then the person who followed to me, it was Kelly Khumalo.
Yes.
And then after that, Kelly Khumalo, after that, there's no story of what Kelly Khumalo was looking like or saying or what all that was happening. Dumi now needed water to actually take everything down, After seeing your friend pass away, you needed to actually, calm yourself down. So that issue of water came there.
It's a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
So on Meyiwa's condition, he was lying on the stretcher and he was covered. When I went to view him for the second time, I was alone, but Kelly followed.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was crying and I asked him, Senzo, did you bring me here to Johannesburg to see this? Malala said he kissed Meyiwa on the forehead after the nurse asked them to leave the room, and Kelly removed Meyiwa's wristwatch. By then, the hospital, because Mandisa had arrived, I don't know who Mandisa was with. Mandisa is Senzo's wife, Madlala says, adding that the footballers, mostly from Orlando Pirates, arrived. Thereafter, it was chaotic.
Let us pause there, Emil. This is the time we remind you to subscribe and like our video, and please smash that like button, hammer that like button, hammer that subscribe button. Emil, you're not gonna believe this. We have 1,019 people who are watching us as we speak. We are not that small, eh? Okay.
I'm actually nervous.
Don't be nervous. And we would like to categorically greet our member, Bongi Manele.
Hi, Bongi. Welcome back. You know, Bongi has been interrupted with load shedding to join the live stream. Guys, it's a celebration. Because it's been a while since we saw Bongi.
Yes, it's been a while. Well, let us roll.
All right. Hey, yabana lendaba le wristwatch le. Thereafter, it was chaotic. I think it was Mandisa and Kelly who were fighting each other. There was even hair on the floor. I don't know if it was Mandisa or the friends she was with, because it was chaotic. Madlala said. On whether it was hair or a wig, Madlala said that the hair looked like braids or hair pieces on the floor. Now, this was some kind of tussle going on between Judge Maumela as well as Titi Tobani. I remember that was so tense because Titi Tobani wanted to know if it was braids or what. And the judge was like, why are you bashing me for asking if it was a wig or hair? I have every right to ask a question. I'm just asking a question. That energy there.
Let us talk about the cat because we need to take it out, man. Either way. Okay. I have a problem, personally, with how the judge seems to be so hostile towards Titi. I don't know what Titi did, because I've been trying to remember and recall everything that could have been done was done by Defo, and Titi was calm, quiet, sitting down, obviously letting the senior member that he trusted with this case take charge, right? So now, Defo was the problem, as we are led to believe, okay?
Yes.
Then why this hostility when it comes to Titi? Why is the judge seemingly
irritated by him objecting?
And this now creates the space for Titi to be even afraid or even not finish some of the sentences that could have helped the court, because the main aim of the attorney or the advocate is to help the court. It ends up leaving that space. Now look at what this does. I'm going to give you another prediction of what is going to happen tomorrow. Just a quick one, a glimpse of what might happen in court tomorrow. So tomorrow, there is that appeal. Yes. Just, I'll narrate it.
Okay, narrate it.
There is that appeal, and that appeal of the witness should bring the ticket. Flight ticket. We would like to take your call, guys, but not now. We'll just finish and then we'll take your calls.
We'll take your calls, guys. We promise.
I'm sure
today we're not in a hurry.
Yeah, we are not in a hurry.
We have all the time.
Yes. Just give us time and then we will take your calls.
Yes, you're going to call in.
Yes.
We'll open the lines for a longer.
So I would just say for now, the lines are off. Okay, so what I would like to say is that issue of the tickets, obviously, according to me, they were supposed to raise it more. It was going to be more in order if they raised it on Monday when they were postponing. Because then that was going to enforce whether the ruling of the judge now has a condition of saying that, okay, I ruled based on 1, 2, 3, but I need this evidence. Okay. But there is still that room for that to be allowed, okay?
Okay.
It must be allowed. If they want to determine whether this man is lying or not, right?
Right.
If he's lying on oath, it's against the law, right? And
Yes.
that man can even be arrested, right?
Yes.
So even though it's now, it's only how many days? 3 days.
2.
Yeah, it's 2
Actually.
days, yes. So they are asking for this. Now, what is happening, what I saw at the end, is that seemingly the judge is not allowing that as yet. It was still going to be ventilated tomorrow morning. Now, this is where this is going. There is going to be that question of you should have raised this earlier when on Monday. I don't think it is needed now. But yet, this is where I'm going with the judge interrupting Titi. Yet, Titi was interrupted many times, so such that he cannot ask certain things. And seemingly, Titi understands the court proceedings more because he's an attorney. He's mostly practicing. He might not be able to articulate himself better than the rest, but he understands this thing. To him, it's like a practice
Or a sport.
Because everything that is raising eventually is raised by Mshololo after a while or after a day or so overnight. And then the following day, she raises that thing, and it is accepted if it's Mshololo. So for Tobani to be heard, seemingly Mshololo must be backing Tobani. Why can it be that when Tobani speaks, he's heard and finishes?
Or he's given an opportunity to finish what he's trying to say. Most
Yes.
of the time, what I find, speak up.
Yes, those disturbances.
I can't hear you, speak up.
Yes,
What are you trying to say?
yes.
And I'm like,
Sit
but
down.
What is going
Yes.
on here?
Yes. We are noticing that.
And the thing about it is, for us who have been watching every single day of this court case, ever since Stefo was arrested on that first day, what we have been seeing from the judge, myself, let me speak for myself, in my opinion, and I'm merely speculating here, but I have seen the aggression and the attitude towards Advocate Defo.
Is it because he's an attorney, this one?
No. Advocate Defo got the same energy. And a
Yeah.
lot of people came in at the end where they're like, but Defo seems to not be understanding court decorum or whatever their excuse
There's
was.
Titi.
They ignored the build-up towards Advocate Defoe's lashing out. They ignored all the times that Advocate Defoe would stand up and object, and he was told to sit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down,
Yeah.
spoken to like a child.
Yeah.
Even Attorney Titi Tobani has been told to sit down
Several times.
several times.
Yes.
So my issue is right there, that for the build-up to even Defo saying this is an effed up situation is
Yes,
because there's
yes.
nothing that he could object or say without getting an interruption from the judge.
Correct.
He was not allowed to fully express what he was trying to say or the point he was trying to get to. He was never given that chance. The judge somehow would interject and interrupt him, and then now it's happening with Titi Tobani again. So I have to ask, who is allowed to object in Judge Maumela's court? Is it the state only?
Let me say, for now, seemingly, it works well for accused number 5 and then the state.
In the
Seemingly.
state.
Yes.
But then Advocate Mshololo doesn't object much. She's quiet. The only objections that I have noticed today were 2. Towards the end with the flight ticket and what was happening towards the end. When they wanted to know, when Judge Baloy, Advocate Baloy,
and it was NPA.
wanted to know about the ticket, why do they want the ticket?
And the objection or the other one was the NPA when he wanted to point who can you point a person in this house.
Yes.
That is another one, which seemingly was allowed up until Advocate Mshololo stood up. Yes. So that is an observation. There is that bit of that looks like an
What
annoyance
Yes,
from the
coming
judge
from the judge towards
yeah,
TT in particular.
Yeah.
It's giving him the same energy he gave Advocate Defo.
And yet I haven't seen any provocation, unless then it's a background provocation. But seemingly in front of us, then if TT is doing that, then TT is very smart, because he doesn't do it in front of us. There is nothing that is warranting such treatment
Because people
towards
were
TT.
bashing Advocate Defo, right? They were like, no, Advocate Defo
Doesn't
doesn't
know-
respect God.
doesn't know
Because he
law.
was more emotional. He was more reactive towards the judge.
He eventually
right?
got into a defensive mood also,
Yes.
which then
And it
obviously...
didn't start like that.
Yes,
It did
yes.
not start like that.
Yes, that is true.
He eventually got to a point where he was defending himself
Yes.
against sit down. What are you trying to say? Shut up.
I don't even know where you studied.
Oh,
Where did you study?
Where did you study?
Who asked that in court?
A judge, Nochal of all people.
Yeah. Well, let us continue.
So yeah, that for us is something that we have to raise and look at and observe and ask ourselves what is going on, because it doesn't make sense. The defense has every right to stand up and object.
Yeah.
They have every right. So I don't understand why they are being stopped, or why Titi Toban is being stopped from objecting and trying to articulate his objection. He's not given a time and a chance to finish.
Yes.
So we have a problem there, and it needs to be addressed.
Yes.
So I'm going to continue on to say, okay, I was at the Happy's, right? What happened thereafter is that Mtogo stayed behind at the hospital because we were supposed to go to Roy Mahamuza's party.
Roy Mahamuzo. Those who support Orlando Pirates or who are a fan of Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates, they would remember Mahamuzo. He was the defender. At the time, he was one of the defenders that we had, was very strong in challenging. So apparently that man had a party. Yes.
Former Pirates defender in Sunninghill.
Yes.
I think Mtogo stayed behind with some of the people who he knew. So that's what Madlala said to Melo.
Well, or you might interpret it as a sort of, let me get away. I'm not going back there.
To that house.
That house, yes.
We were supposed to have gone to the party on Sunday. The Sunday where Meyiwa was murdered, Madlala added. At that time, Judge Maumela called for the tea adjournment. The post-tea session began, and it began with Advocate Baloyi, the prosecutor, asking Madlala when Meyiwa was driven to the hospital, did they go straight there? We went straight to the hospital, although I can't remember how long it took for us to get there. It wasn't long. Madlala adds that they had to fold his legs to get him in the car because they were in a hurry. People who sat at the back was myself, Mtogo, and Zandi. We were in a rush. It was difficult to get him in the car, so we had to bend his legs and close the car.
Yeah.
Madlala said that all the car doors were closed en route to the hospital. No, I don't know how Kelly's mother got to the hospital, Madlala testified. So he was asked whether he knew whether Kelly Khumalo's mother had driven with them in the very same BMW to the hospital, and he said no, he doesn't know how Kelly's mom got to the hospital. On Mtogo remaining behind at the hospital, Madlala said that there was a lady who drove a Toyota Corolla, the same lady who gave them the cloth. So now I'm very interested in the physique and the stature of this lady.
Yeah,
this lady seems to be important as well.
Very important person to think what he gave a towel to Doom and then followed with the car, right? Yeah.
So another thing, Mr. Anonymous, Tumelo says here he was the one holding the blood, is stopping the bleeding. But then Zandi Khumalo on the ENCA interview, she said that she was using her hands to stop the blood, you know.
Oh, and also she did say that also she could feel the legs. Who said she could feel the legs getting cold?
It was Kelly in the documentary, allegedly.
She was not driving now.
On the documentary, there's somewhere where she said that she felt the legs, they were turning cold.
She was not driving now. She was driving with one hand and the other hand was... on the.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe let us leave that.
Let's leave that alone.
There's
But Zandi
that
Khumalo said
space.
she was also stopping from the bleeding. She was using her hands. So that to me is like, a lot of people were stopping Senzo from bleeding.
Yes. And by the way this guy explained how Senzo was laying, Zandi was only holding the legs, right? So maybe also use the other hand to stop the blood there. I don't know how tall. Maybe they were changing. The other one would put a hand and the other one
Maybe
would
they
put
were
a
changing.
hand. Yeah, maybe they kept on changing, stuff like that. But it can happen, guys. Continue, Emil.
Trauma is trauma.
Yeah.
On Mtogo remaining behind at the hospital, Madlala said that there was a lady who drove a Toyota Corolla, the same lady who gave him the cloth. I came back with the lady to the house where we were, and I don't know what Mtogo did back at the hospital, Madlala said. When we got back to the house, it was full of police. They had already cordoned off the house and they took our cell phones. So when they entered, they took their cell phones. We went inside the house.
But
the house was
order
full.
of how this happened is not remembered. Whether they came in and then the cell phones were taken, or they came in, there was a prayer and then the cell phone was taken, that is not clear. But he does remember that there is a pastor who came and prayed, and we accept that. I would like to actually know that pastor.
Yeah, nah.
For it's funny right now that I'm asking for that, but people might be thinking, hey, this guy is that pastor. I would like to know what is his relationship with the family. Yeah, and how was he alerted of this? It's very interesting thing to know.
It's very important to know that pastor as well is a very important factor.
Yeah.
We went inside the house. The house was full. The people standing on their feet, and there were others carrying their firearms. There were police inside the house, and there were police outside.
Yes.
There was another man as well. I was told that that man was a pastor. He took me to a room and prayed for me because I was crying at the time. Madlala added that saying he was taken to the first bedroom. Madlala said the statements were taken and they were then escorted to Mulbarton.
Yes.
How long they stayed before leaving, he said, although I'm not certain of the time, but we spent a lot of time in the house.
Now, look at this. I don't know how many cell phones Kelly has. There was a phone that was taken by the intruders, and then the police took the other phone. Just hold that like that. I'm not going to explain anything as yet.
Yeah.
Just hold it like that. Continue.
But as we hold it as well, Mtetwa said when he came back for the second time, Kelly was not there. Do you remember that?
Oh, so Kelly's phone could have been not taken.
Maybe, but it depends on whether she was there or not. Tumelo speaks as if Kelly was there, but Mtetwa said no, he had not seen her.
Okay.
So we wouldn't know for sure.
Okay.
At this rate.
Okay.
So when the police took our phones, they were at the door and they were carrying plastic bags. So Tumelo insists our phones, right? Our phones. Madlala clarifies that the phones were actually taken outside near the front of the house, written Spaza in white. The phones were taken. When we came back from the hospital, Madlala says he can't recall well. On whose phones were taken, Madlala says his was taken, Kelly's phone, Zandi's, and Mtogo's cell phone was not confiscated because he did not come back with us. So the phones that were taken, according to Madlala, it was Kelly's phone, his phone, and Zandi's phone. Mtogo's phone was not taken because he did not come back.
Yes, that's what we know for sure, that we were told.
So again, cell phone, the other one was taken while the robbery was taking place, and now the other one is taken by the police.
Yes.
Okay. Baloyi asked about what Madlala's use of his crutches, and Madlala said he didn't take his crutches with him to the hospital. Okay, the crutches were on the kitchen floor, as I've previously explained. So Zandi was using them to assault the short guy, alleged intruder. Madlala says that it is not a matter of him not being able to walk with a cast on, because the cast only covered his right foot, as only his toe was injured. So his toe was injured, only his toe. That's what he's saying.
A toe.
But he had a cast.
I
on
would
his
like
entire
to get
foot.
a scan, a record of that, because only a toe was injured, but you had the whole thing covered.
His whole foot was covered.
Is that those who are nurses and doctors? Clarify us, guys.
Please help
to me,
us,
it doesn't
guys.
make sense. A toe.
And he has 2 crutches.
A toe is head, and you had a long cover painted in your.
Yes, the entire foot.
I don't think so. But let us continue.
I can't remember well at what stage my crutches were on the floor, because I inquired if I could take them and I was told not to. Madlala says, adding that he inquired upon returning from the hospital and was told by an officer to leave the sticks. On what he noticed in the kitchen upon return, Madlala says he saw a black and white checkered hat and his crutches. The hat was on the floor in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yesterday, Madlala testified that the hat was worn by one of the alleged intruders.
How was the explaining of the color of that hair?
Well, yesterday he said it was black and white scotch. But today he couldn't tell because it was laying upside down. I don't know how the hat was there on the floor, but the short man with dreadlocks that came in was wearing a jacket and the hat.
Yeah.
Madlala said, reiterating his testimony from yesterday.
Yes.
I think that hat belonged to him because he's the one who came in the house wearing that hat, carrying the gun. I'm referring to the short man with dreadlocks.
How the short man. Let us remind you guys, as we continue with this, please, we beg you, subscribe and like our video. And we are grateful
We are
to
so
those
grateful,
who are
guys.
donating. Appreciate you guys. We love
Highly
you for
appreciate
that.
it. Shout out to all of y'all.
And shout out to everyone who's here. We have 1,364 views, which is not a taboo. It's great to see that we have much support.
Thank you.
This is done in a public court.
Yes, this is
where
the
there is
court of public opinion.
Yes.
Share your thoughts
Share your
on the
thoughts.
chat.
We'll give you that. That's why I'm rushing Emil. As you smash that subscribe button and like button and do whatever that you need to do down there. There's even membership if you want. Emil,
Yes.
continue, because there are people who are itching to
People
call.
who are itching to call. I
Yes.
think that hat belonged to him because he's the one who came in. Okay, I've read that part. Madlala adds that he doesn't know the person who escorted them to Mulbarton, where Kelly and Senzo stayed. He says, however, that the man was very light in complexion.
Yes.
Madlala says he doesn't know if the man was a cop or a civilian. Now, when the judge asked him, was he wearing civilian clothes? He couldn't answer that question. It was a very simple question. Was he wearing clothes from the police force or was he wearing casual clothes?
He deviated.
He didn't.
He has been deviating of lately.
Madlala, responding to Judge Maumela, said he doesn't remember the clothes the man who escorted them was wearing, only remembering his light complexion. My crutches had been taken when we went to Mulbarton. I'm not certain when my crutches were returned, but I was back in Durban.
Okay, now that picture then must be a ghost of someone walking in crutches, talking to the police. Was
At
it
the
an act?
Spaza house.
Were they acting? Okay, so that must be a good ad from Netflix then. Where's that video? Is there a video though?
It's on the documentary. Those who've watched the documentary,
Is it a
they
documentary
saw the
made
footage.
video or they got it somewhere?
They got it somewhere.
Okay,
They got it somewhere.
okay.
I still have the document I signed when the crutches were returned to me. Madlala said. Madlala now changes to say he doesn't remember whether he had his crutches when he went to Mulbarton.
Yes.
When Baloyi tried to show a picture of crutches on the kitchen floor, Titi Tobani objected, saying that Baloyi is trying to lead the witness to guide his answer. Madlala now changed to say he doesn't remember whether he had crutches when he went to Mulbarton. When Baloyi tried to show a picture of the crutches on the kitchen floor, okay, I've read that part, led the witness to guide his answer. The witness couldn't answer the question. It would have been understandable in the defense if the defense asked the question. And under re-examination, the state asked the question. Tobani said, adding that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what Baloyi was doing.
Clarity-seeking question, Emily. I'm just going to take this one. Jabu Buthelezi, is Ntogo Longwe? No. Longwe Twala is the son of Chicco Twala. Ntogo is a cousin, allegedly, of Mandisa, who was
Senzo's
a friend
wife.
to Senzo. Also, Ntogo was a friend to Senzo. The guy who was thin, dark, in if you watch the documentary,
Yes.
Small nyana guy who
Yes. Dark in complexion.
yeah.
There's one of the thumbnails while we reviewed the documentary. There's a picture of him on one of the thumbnails.
Yes,
He was
yes.
with Senzo taking a selfie.
Yes,
So he's darker in complexion and he was a very close friend of Senzo's.
yes.
Yeah, according to the documentary.
Continue.
Tobani said, adding that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what Baloyi was doing. Tobani, an attorney for the first 4 accused, said that Madlala was asked a question he couldn't answer and Baloyi wants to show pictures to get him to answer correctly.
Yeah.
Baloyi said it is a perfectly permissible question and Judge Maumela agreed with him. I rule that the question is allowed, Maumela said.
Yeah.
Baloyi pulls up a picture of the kitchen floor showing one of Madlala's crutches. Madlala agreed that those are his crutches. There was a hat also there, but I cannot see how this one on the screen looks like. This was the time that they were showing him what was happening on the screen. Asked by Maumela if the hat resembled the one worn by the alleged intruder.
Yes.
Madlala said that he's not too sure.
Yes.
He's not too sure anymore. Yes, there was a hat on the floor, but I'm unable to see properly whether this is the hat, Madlala testified. On what happened to his other crutch, Madlala said he doesn't know because the last person he saw holding it was Zandi Khumalo. Madlala testified yesterday and today that Zandi used his crutch to assault one of the intruders. On what time they left for Mulbarton, Madlala said he is not certain of the time, but it was early in the morning. As I've already mentioned, we were escorted to Mulbarton. We were traveling in the BMW, the one belonging to Senzo. I think there were 4 of us because I remember Kelly saying she won't be able to stay in that house anymore. She will sell it.
Okay. Was it that now Kelly came back? Is that what Dumelo is telling us?
They were traveling together in the car that they were being escorted to Mulbarton from Fosloras, the Spaza house, to Mulbarton.
Okay.
So in that car, Kelly was saying that she's going to sell that house. She won't be living in it anymore.
Okay.
Madlala said that Kelly drove the car and her daughter Tingo was there. Zandi Khumalo and Gladness Khumalo, mother to Kelly and Zandi, also slept in Mulbarton. Madlala said the police also arrived in Mulbarton. Kelly told the state security at the gate not to open for the police, Madlala adds. And on clarity on what that was happening, the light-skinned guy traveled with a separate white BMW and Kelly was driving the X6 that belonged to Senzo, and there were 4 of them in the car. It was Kelly driving, their mom, Zandi, as well as Dumelo.
Yeah.
So Kelly told the state security at the gate not to open for the police, Madlala added.
Yeah.
Tobani said he doesn't have an objection to Madlala's evidence provided that Kelly Khumalo is called to testify. Baloyi asked for the evidence to be provisionally accepted. He hasn't said whether Kelly will be called to testify. Madlala continued that the police eventually entered the Mulbarton residence, but I don't know how the police entered. So
Very
was
interesting
very
that on the issue of Madlala not being able to answer whether this guy was a police or wearing a police uniform or was wearing casual. Very interesting. That. I would like to know whether this guy was wearing casual or not.
So now they are in the Mulbarton residence. They are inside the house. Gutiwa, the security were calling, asking that the police were here and they wanted to enter. And Kelly was not wanting them to enter. But they entered eventually. So let's find out what happened. Madlala said the only thing he can remember of the man who escorted them to Mulbarton was he was driving a white BMW. I think the white BMW drove back, Madlala added. After the police gained access to the Mulbarton estate, I think Kelly must have seen them. I think they wanted to peep through the blinds, and Kelly said the electricity should be switched off. After the electricity was switched off, I don't know who Kelly ordered to, but I think
there was a call.
But I think a certain order was given and the police just left. Remember, Kelly made a phone call. And after that phone call, the police just left.
Why was she hiding from the police after all? Because she should be happy to help the police to identify, to easily catch these people who really did this gruesome thing. Why
hide?
Yes.
Why hide?
Why hide? Because
why avoid the police?
I would wake up at 10, at 9, at 11 if someone killed my girlfriend and I was there.
And the phone, like the
and
calling.
And then the issue of the phone. How many phones does Kelly have?
How many did she have at the time?
Was it 3? Because if they were taken by the police and the one was stolen by people, how many calls were the police does Kelly have? It's very interesting to know that. I would like to know that part because I don't understand that part. I really don't understand that part.
So what phone did she use to call this person to order? Or I don't know whether she called the police themselves or what was happening, but what phone?
But it's very interesting, isn't it?
Whose phone was she using? Isn't
it very interesting that you have connections that can really call the police off?
Very, very interesting.
Isn't it really, really disturbing that you have such connections, big connections that really can make the police reverse and go back?
That is
quickly.
very interesting.
Do you only see these things in movies? Someone calls and like, let me call my connection, and then they move.
And they move. Hey, that was very interesting to me. I didn't think Kelly was that connected. I didn't.
It happened live.
Sure.
Wow.
After the electricity was switched off, I don't know who Kelly ordered, but I think a certain order was given and the police just left, adding that the electricity was switched back after the police left. I'm just not sure about the day, but while I was still in Mulbarton, Chicco Twala arrived because Kelly was crying and I was also not well. Kelly informed Chicco that this is Senzo's friend, Madlala said.
Yes.
I'm just not sure about that day. But while I was still in Mulbarton, Chicco arrived. I heard Chicco speak to Kelly, asking Kelly whether she did not want to go overseas for a holiday. Madlala said he aggressively tells Titi Tobani that he did not say Chicco wanted to hide Kelly because Titi Tobani stood up and thought he heard that Tumelo was saying that Chicco wanted to hide Kelly. It turns out he was serious. Okay, what he heard is that Chicco allegedly wanted to take Kelly out for a holiday. A holiday.
Like a getaway. Just relax, man. Relax yourself. In the midst of all this happening. In the midst of all this happening. You are suggesting a holiday, Mr. Chicco Twala? Really?
Advocate Mshololo asked whether Chicco Twala would be called. Baloyi said he's not sure, but asked that Madlala continue testifying, and Maumela agreed.
As usual.
Madlala said that he slept at Mulbarton because that was the place he had originally come to visit.
Yes.
There was no other place I could sleep except Mulbarton. Madlala testified saying it was his second time sleeping at Mulbarton. So it turns out he was there before. So this was his second time when this incident after it had happened.
Would be Senzo's place, right? Okay.
It would be his place, but also Kelly, he has ownership somehow, because in other interviews she'd been saying that it was also her place. So I need clarity on that. Was it Senzo's place, or was it Kelly's place, or was it both of them shared?
Really, but it could have been Senzo's
Conjoined
place.
bond.
Why would you?
I get it, there's a conjoined bond. Maybe they were sharing. Maybe.
Senzo was no one in any case, according to what we heard.
It could have Assads. I mentioned this previously that Senzo used to call me and ask me to come and visit. Madlala said, continuing on the days following the murder, Madlala said there were times they were fetched by police who told Kelly to leave Meyiwa's car behind.
Yeah. So,
Madlala said that he doesn't remember the dates, but he remembers what happened.
You remember what? There are things that you conveniently choose to forget, eh?
He insists that the dates, they shouldn't ask him about the dates because he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, we also went to an identity parade, but I don't know where. There was a day when we had to draw a sketch of that person with dreadlocks. Kelly refused to leave the vehicle behind and said that the vehicle belonged to the father of her child. This vehicle was very crucial because Senzo's blood was in it, right? It was very crucial. Part of the evidence. So I do not understand
how they kept on traveling with it. Probably it was cleaned also, because you wouldn't travel with a car that has blood stain, right?
On what happened the morning after the murder, Madlala says he frequented the Mulbarton house, including a celebrity he knows only as Akumzi. So Akumzi, I remember the name Akumzi.
Isn't it the guy who was a PR or assisted with funds or something like that?
No, he was actually a OTV presenter. If this is the Akumzi they're talking about, he passed on, unfortunately. May his soul rest in peace. He passed on in a car accident.
Yeah.
Let me move on The people who were asking me about statements were not asking me too much about what happened outside the house, but what happened inside the house. Madlala said he wasn't the question, but that wasn't the questions asked. The question was whether he deposed a statement. On what description he gave Madlala, although I cannot remember properly, what I do remember is that the intruder had a small chin and short dreadlocks. These dreadlocks are very interesting. They are medium length. You know, Steenkamp, the retired police officer who did the sketch, said they were medium length. And now Tumelo is saying that they were short dreadlocks. On that, I can't remember anything else he described. Baloyi beams the composite sketches that were compiled by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, and Madlala said he remembered the sketches. The sketch is one of the intruders who came in first. The short one, Madlala said. Now, on the second alleged intruder whom Madlala testified yesterday was tall. Yes. Yesterday, he was tall. And he added that they were asking me questions. I spoke and they would write down. And some of the people that were investigating would come to my work. They would put their handcuffs on the chair I was sitting on, threatening me and doing all sorts of things, Madlala testified. They would fetch us from Durban.
Why does it sound like an attempt of bashing 375?
Could be.
Well, obviously, we are not informed, but seemingly the tears, I told you about the tears in any case. The tears, be careful of the tears. In any case, ignore the tears. Because look at what the tears are doing now. The tears happened because this guy didn't want to be in the same house with the man that shot Senzo. There we go. There is an alignment now, eh? The guy was crying because he saw the guy with his own naked eye for for the first time since the incident. He wanted to point the guy. I
Yesterday.
didn't want to be in a house with this guy. You know? But worrisome is that he's not clear on the hat. He's not clear on the colors. He's not clear whether there was a light or not. But there was a light
TV,
of television.
Yes. Whether there were
Yet,
lights, no, he's
he
not clear
can
on that.
identify a person who's allegedly had dreadlocks before and has removed them now, right? Because there's no one with dreadlocks there now. All of them, they've removed them.
Yes. And the most interesting thing is that there were balaclavas at some point.
And at some point, they were wearing something. They couldn't see them properly. Now,
those balaclavas
you
are
can
not
point to
mentioned.
them properly. Yeah. Very interesting.
Responding to Baloyi, Madlala said he doesn't remember how many of them who were in the house when Meyiwa passed on went to Vosloorus police station. He says the reason he stayed in Mulbarton, he didn't return home because the police had his phone. Now, prior to that, he said they would fetch them from Durban and not buy them food. But he reported that and it stopped happening. What he remembers is that the statements were written at the police station. And the other thing that he remembered was that there were two other gentlemen there. And what else that he remembered is that they were arguing with Longwe, Madlala said. Because the questions I was posing to Longwe was that how come when someone comes in and asks for phones, you just push the guy, because Senzo would have bought those phones back. Longwe said he went to look for backup. Madlala adds. So Longwe said he went to look for backup, and Tumi was arguing why did he push one of the guys when Senzo could have bought those phones and replaced them.
I'm not going to put anyone's name.
All right.
I'm just going to say the statement.
All right.
Why did you shoot someone instead of talking? Just a question. I mean, think about it along those lines. I'm just saying, this is obviously, it has no name in it. This is me thinking out loud how I would ask a question to someone. Yeah. That's how I would ask a question to someone. I'm using a different phrase of asking a question to someone. This is my opinion.
Okay. Madlala confirmed that he went to an identity parade, but doesn't remember when after the murder. So he doesn't remember the time frame of when he went and did the identity parade.
Yeah.
What I do recall is that we were seated in different rooms in that police station, and we would go in one by one.
Yeah.
At that ID parade, there was one that I pointed out because there was one that I could see. There was no one that I pointed out. My apologies. There was no one that I pointed out because there was no one I could see or recognize.
Yes.
There was no one I could recognize from the people who entered the house. Judge Maumela adjourned for lunch.
Yet someone was arrested at some point, right?
Yes, it's that car who was. Steenkamp described her as the poor guy who was washing Senzo's car. So that's the guy who was arrested, and he was later released, and suing the state.
Are you saying that this guy is literally saying that he contributed on that sketch? And really, the sketch came out like Senzo's guy who was washing a car most of the time, and yet you are able to come to court and you are ready to point someone.
And the guy was washing Senzo's car, had dreadlocks. He was shot. The post-lunch sitting began with Tumelo Madlala still on the stand, being questioned by the prosecutor, Advocate Baloyi. He asked about Madlala's attendance of an ID parade where the witness said before lunch he didn't point anyone out. Madlala said that after the ID parade, he was accompanied by a gentleman named Mandla, who gave him money to go back to Durban. Was this Mandla a police officer? Who was this Mandla? who is this
This is a name we can
at
trace,
least,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
He says he had received his phone by then, but doesn't remember from which police station.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 3 days I stayed in Johannesburg before leaving. Madlala said, adding that the ID parade happened within those 3 days. Baloyi asked about the composite sketch he was asked to compile of the alleged dreadlocked intruder. The sketch is part of an identity kit. Mandla said the composite sketch was conducted while he was still in Johannesburg.
Yes.
He says he doesn't know whether they did the sketch or the ID parade first. The sketch was done at the police station, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was at Veiws. There was this person who was an artist who gave us an explanation before we could start. The person said the person should draw that what he or she saw. The artist did the drawing and we gave the description. Madlala said. Madlala said he also gave a description. We were asked about the person that came into the house carrying a firearm. As to what that person looked like, I only described that which we were asked about Madlala, he testified. Madlala adds that an identity kit of the person he described was compiled. Baloyi introduced the sketch that was compiled following the description given. Baloyi says the identity kit evidence is a 9-page document compiled by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, whom the state says will be called as a witness.
Okay.
On what description he gave, Madlala, although I cannot remember, this is what he said. What I do remember is that the intruder had a small chin and short dreadlocks. Other than that, I can't remember anything else, described Madlala.
Okay.
Baloyi beamed the composite sketch that were compiled by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, and Madlala said he remembered the sketches. The sketch is of the one intruder who came in first, the short one, Madlala said. On the second alleged intruder, whom Madlala testified yesterday was tall, Madlala adds that the second intruder had a trimmed beard. Yes. Yes. The intruder was tall because Senzo was holding him with hand up because he was tall, Madlala said. Madlala said that the second intruder was slender built and that only the two intruders entered the house. I'm not certain about the time, but there was a game on between Chelsea and Man United. I'm not certain if the game was finished, Madlala said. Now this is on the time frame that you were speaking about, and everybody says it's 6 o'clock. He said he was not certain on the time frame of the game today.
And he was not sure if the game was done or so. Oh, okay.
On who was supposed to attend Roy Mahumata's party, Madlala said myself, Senzo, and Mtogosizi were going to attend. Mahumata is an Orlando Pirates player, and Madlala said Senzo kept receiving calls before leaving for the party, but he doesn't know who Senzo was talking to. So there's a phone call. Utiwa Senzo was busy on the phone call according to Tumelo, and he wasn't sure who he was speaking to. I don't know when we would have left because we were relying on Senzo. He was supposed to tell us which direction to take when we were supposed to leave.
How far are you?
Okay, I can pause.
Yeah, please, guys, let us remind you to subscribe. But how far are you from finishing?
Not that far because it's the last session.
Okay. Please subscribe and like the video. Let us go.
I'm not that far, guys. Patience. I have to unravel everything.
Continue. You're unraveling.
But you made me scroll. Now I've lost my train of thoughts here. So, Okay. Where was I?
Let us remind you, subscribe. While you are looking for that, please subscribe, guys. And like the video.
Okay, found it. On how he spotted the first intruder in the house, Madlala said he cannot remember whether the lights were on or off. Seeing that he was standing on the opening leading to the dining room, I don't think anyone was in the house. He would not have been able to see him in that position he was standing. The reason why I'm saying that is that there's no way Chico's son could push someone he could not see. Madlala said that, adding that the TV source of lighting was from the TV playing. So the source of lighting believe was from the TV. He
That is the
reiterates
only
that he's
one
not
that is
sure whether the
confirmed.
lights were on or off in the house.
Yeah.
So on how long the crime took, Madlala says, I don't know, because immediately when the firearm went off, I went to the bedroom. I don't know how long the others stayed there. There's no one who was in the house. I saw where they were. Madlala said, responding on whether Senzo was when Madlala supposedly ran to the bedroom. I wasn't looking at where Chicco Twala was. The only thing I was concentrating on was saving my own life. I didn't hear how many times the gun went off because my ears were blocked from the noise. The firearm, I ran to the bedroom. So I don't remember seeing Longwe. Madlala said, responding to whether he saw Longwe after the intruders entered. He adds that the VW Polo was also in the yard. I think the Polo belonged to Longwe, he adds. Now that I think it was Longwe's Polo, because I also saw the very same vehicle in Mulbarton. I don't remember the day, but I remember seeing it in Mulbarton, Madlala said. On whether Senzo's daughter was there during the incident, Madlala says Tingo was in the bedroom. I ran into when he shot. I hid my phone under the blankets and the clothes, and Tingo was there and awake. Okay, this is the part where I felt like Baloyi was becoming redundant and asking questions. So I'm just going to skip it, you guys. Forgive me if you feel like anything will be missed, but I just need to quickly skip where Advocate Baloyi was busy repeating stuff. Okay, so this is the interesting part that I wanted to get to quickly. Tobani objected. Okay, prior to that, Madlala said that he was even prepared to identify the person yesterday. That's why I even asked for a break, because I was annoyed with him being in the same room with this person. Now this is towards the end before the court adjourned for the day. Now Titi Tobani objected to the state's questioning, saying that the identification question was vague. Baloyi was actually trying to get Tumelo to point at the 5 accused, to pinpoint, to identify the man who was shot with the dreadlocks amongst the 5 accused in court.
Well, if the
Titi
court allows
Tobani
it, it's okay.
Objected to the state questioning, saying the identification question is vague. Identification in the court is inadmissible and doesn't have value. Most importantly, because my clients were not taken to an ID parade. Tobani said, citing a Supreme Court of Appeal judge to support the argument. Tobani said that a trial within a trial needed to be granted. Okay. It needed to be granted if the state wants an in-court identification. The SCA citation he is giving is for a matter that was decided in 2019. Tobani added that the state's argument won't hold water. Baloyi, as he tried to submit heads for argument to force an in-court identification, got an objection from Shololo, who called Baloyi tactics and ambush. Baloyi said the defense can argue and respond to this argument tomorrow, which Mshololo rejected. We are not addressing the court, but we are not making any submissions in this court. We are still in the evidence in chief of this witness, Mshololo said. Judge Maumela said that his worries that Baloyi introduced heads of argument before the defense had been furnished from them. Maumela says the defense needs to be given the heads first before he can argue. Titi Tobani asked that when Madlala comes to testify tomorrow, he should come with his flight ticket because he had questions for him on that. Judge Maumela adjourned for the day. So that is how it went down. That flight ticket is very important.
Yeah, so I think that's why they decided to ask for the flight ticket, because I think here the reason why they did that is because they feel like probably it looked like, yes, you can rehearse, you can remind and do all those things. But I feel like the guys too rehearsed.
We need to find out when exactly he flew.
So that ticket is coming in handy. Very important. If we were to be told that the guy was here on Friday
prior to Monday afternoon,
then probably they would have a case, because then you first you lied under the oath.
I think it's time for us to open the lines.
They are
people have
open.
been,
They are
Please,
open. Let us.
now the lines are open. You can
You
call
can call
in
any number
and
of the
you can
twos.
share your thoughts and opinions. I am done. Today's court session took quite longer than I had anticipated. It was quite long.
It was a repetitive tactic.
Yeah,
for me.
especially after lunch.
It looked like we were just repeating.
The questioning was really not doing any justice in showing, pointing towards the accused.
Yeah.
If there's anything that the state was doing, I don't understand, because they need to prove whether the 5 accused are guilty or lead to that direction. So what happened after at Mulbarton? All of those things that were being asked. What happened after? The crutches. When you went to Durban, the police came. I was hungry. They were not buying food. All of those things were honestly had nothing to do with proving who did the crime.
Yes.
They were not leading anywhere.
I feel like we were prolonging, like now, we were prolonging the situation that didn't need any prolonging. Basically, for me, NPA is done leading the evidence. They should allow people to ask questions now. So,
And
guys, can you please call?
Guys, please call us. Please call in. Now is the time
as
we're
you are
opening the
calling,
line.
Please subscribe. You hear that? It means that you must subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. And please like
call.
the videos.
Use the number down below. Mr. Anonymous, are both numbers working today?
Both of them, they are working. A line one and the WhatsApp one.
And
both
the
of them,
WhatsApp
they are
now.
working today. All is in order. You can call and leave your point. The numbers are scrolling below, and give each other a chance, guys. If someone's still on the line talking, just give that person a chance. There we go. We have the first one.
The first caller. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Well,
Good.
we are good. What's your thoughts?
What's your take? Just because seemingly we're gonna have line.
You know, it was very interesting today.
Yeah.
One point I pick up. The people who were in the BMW when they transport Senzo to Tsilong,
Yes.
they commit a capable homicide. I was in the as a paramedic for almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You transport the patient on the supine position with a difficulty breathing. 5 minutes, the patient will kiss bye-bye. Is dead end.
That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, that is the first mistake they did, to transport the patient on the supine position. And if the patient with a difficulty breathing, you kill the patient. Thank you very much, Ne.
Thank you very much for that light.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, I didn't
There
even
we
know
go.
that.
This is what we want. People who have information, please subscribe and please keep calling. There was a person who was calling.
Try
Please
calling
give each
them
other a
back.
chance. If someone calls, please just give them a chance to finish
speak
and then
you
call.
call.
There is another one on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hi, caller.
Hi, caller.
How are you?
We are good, and you?
I'm good too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, my question is that
Yeah.
I don't understand. I want to know, because this guy Tumelo saying he was in Mulbarton in the morning. Then he came after they said the police come late. So I don't know which day that the police come at night when they said must switch off the light.
Yeah.
So I
So,
want to clear it.
to me, in my opinion, it sounded like it was the same night. To me.
Hello?
To me, it sounded like it was the same night. After they were back from the hospital, they went to the house, and then they went to Mulbarton. They were escorted to Mulbarton. So
Can
to
you hear
me,
you?
You can hear on the video. It's answered on the video.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, that caller dropped. Let us hear another one. If we have another one, please call.
You can call in, guys.
You can call in. Just give each other a chance. Be patient with each other so that we don't cut people abruptly. But also don't take long, because seemingly we have a lot of people who are itching to speak. As we do that, please remember to subscribe and like our video. Please as usual, or guys. Even dislike it. It's not a question. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Yeah, there's one aspect of Senzo's friends. Senzo's friends evidence. I have a question about. And that aspect is, how come Senzo was pinning the other guy on the wall, but he ended up being shot in front? Because if they were behind, whoever was shooting him was behind him, he would have been shot at the back. But
very interesting.
Shot, I think from evidence, Senzo was shot either on the side or in front.
Yes.
His lung area.
Yes.
So that's what is surprising.
Yes.
Because it doesn't really make sense that Senzo was shot by someone behind him instead of someone facing him.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the aspect that I'm not sure about.
It's a very interesting one. We hope that it's going to be asked tomorrow. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have another caller. Hello. Guys, keep them coming. Okay, dropped. Keep them coming. And as you do that, please subscribe, guys. We beg your subscription. We are nothing without you. Please subscribe. If you see that, here we go. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Please reduce the volume behind.
On the TV.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
We are struggling to hear you because you are mixing with your TV.
You need to switch on the volume of the TV.
Switch off.
The volume of the TV.
I did that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, this is Jafet Momakuli. I'm calling from Philadelphia, United States.
Yes.
I used to be a very good Pirates fan when this happened.
Yes.
I remember it very much that time. I do have two questions though. Well, not actually a question, it's just a comment.
Yeah.
First of all, somehow Kelly Khumalo testifies that after the gunshot, she ran to the room and then she remembered that children or one of her child is outside.
Yes.
But then Khumalo says he ran into the room. That's where the child is sleeping. The child was sleeping in there. I don't know.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
The second question, the second, I'll say, comment is, well, Senzo was fighting this guy, this tall guy, and then the crash when they see when they show the exhibit, the crash and the heads are close to each other. So if this guy, one of these guy that was fighting on the other side with the lady who was actually wearing the hat, how does the hat happen to be where Senzo was actually fighting the other tall guy? So the distance between the crash and the head are not making sense at all. So that will be my comment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
Right.
Yes. There you go. Questions are coming up and people are observing few things. Let's take this one. Hello.
Hi, caller.
Hello. When you call, hello, please reduce the sound behind, guys.
Guys, when you call in, please reduce the volume of the TV in the background. You're going to be forced to listen to both sources of sound.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, we're here.
Yes, you're speaking to Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Yes, good evening. This is a very interesting discussion, and I just want to throw a spanner also.
Yeah.
By way of making, look, I'm not a legal person or anything, but I just want to check with you guys.
All right.
The prosecutor was actually at the stage where he was asking the the witness
Yes.
to point out the person who committed or who are alleged one of the guys who were there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, for me, this would then suggest that if that person, correct me if I'm wrong, if let's say the judge allowed the witness to point out at the person who's alleged to be the one who was around on that day. Now, for me, that would suggest that the case would just stop there because you already have the person who was there and he's been confirmed to be the alleged perpetrator of the crime.
Yes.
Then it would suggest for me that Umsholozi as well as Notobejan, somebody, they would then have to stop continuing with their cross-examination because the case would then stop there because we have found the perpetrator. Then why would you go on with the case? Because already today the case would be closed and say we have found the perpetrator.
Yes.
Therefore, there's no more point for them to do a cross-examination.
Okay.
This is how I see this thing.
Yes.
That is what the prosecutor was trying to do on the day.
Yes.
And I just want to thank Utobejani, in fact, both attorneys for intervening because had they allowed us, a case would have stopped today.
Wow.
They wouldn't have they wouldn't have to go on with the case because we have found the perpetrator, and it means a case would then proceed with the 5 accused because they have been identified to have been guilty.
Yes.
This is just a contribution I'm making.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll leave it to the lawyers to discuss it.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, caller. Welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Hello, can you hear us? Yes.
How are you?
We are good, and you?
Fine. Is that Mzansi Reality?
It is Mzansi Reality.
Welcome.
Okay. One of the things which is actually sketchy to me is that the guy appeared, the first guy, with a gun and he stood somewhere, and the ladies, Kelly's mother, maybe, and Kelly, had all the courage to go and hit him with the crutches. It's actually something which is very sketchy.
Yeah. It is sketchy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, they say people are brave sometimes when you pin them against the wall. What can you say? Thank you very much. Hello, guys. We are still here. Please keep on subscribing there as you do that, and you can keep on calling. Some of you are calling. We see you. We are not ignoring your phones, but unfortunately, someone calls first. Please subscribe and become a member if you can. Become anything that you want to be. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Live chat.
Yeah, this is the right one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I just need clarity on the blood.
Yes.
So this guy was saying he was lying between the TV stand and the couch.
Yes.
And he wasn't bleeding that much.
Yes.
There were drips of blood.
Yes.
Okay? However, they had time to put newspapers in the car.
Yeah.
And he was given a face cloth.
Yeah.
What he said,
Yeah.
To stop Senzo from bleeding. And he's shedded blood. So did he start bleeding after they'd taken him out of the house when he was in the car?
So
that, to me, it doesn't actually make a lot of sense.
Yes, it doesn't, but they say it could be that, they don't say, it could be that eventually he started bleeding because maybe if you stay long enough, maybe you'll eventually bleed. right? Even though if it's a gun, an internal bleeder, and then even
I'm not a medical expert. I have no idea. But what I've seen is people bleed.
Yeah, we will have people answer here. We have medical experts.
Medical experts will, yes. I'm not going to speak on what I have seen or traumatic experiences that I have seen. I'm not going to speak on that.
Thank you very much. We'll have you on the comments there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
How are you guys?
Yes.
We are good in yourself.
Yes. Hey, I have a problem with what Tumelo was saying. You see, with so much of commotion, people fighting this side and this side, the neighbors should have heard something.
Yeah.
You see, the amount of fighting that was there at the time, you don't fight in silence.
Yeah.
In silence.
Yes.
You fight while you're saying something or you're pushing, things are falling. How can the neighbors not hear that something is happening? Because there are two big fights in the house. And then they fight and finish, and these guys manage to run away. How?
It's very interesting. We are going to guys let you...
So much noise going around.
Yes.
That they pick up, that the neighbors... Even if now I fight, we have a couple of fights where I am now. My neighbors are going to hear. Imagine 6 people fighting. It was now 8 people fighting, having a fight inside. And a gun going off.
Yes.
Are you telling me your neighbors are not going to pick up on that?
Yes.
And then the two guys are going to run without anyone seeing them.
Yes.
Except for the people in the house. Something is dodgy.
Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. We hope that someone will be able to answer you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep them calling, guys. I'm not shutting you guys out because I see we have rain. It's coming WhatsApp, it's coming left and right. So I'm giving everyone a chance as soon as possible. Please keep on subscribing there and call. If I haven't answered your call, please call, and I beg guys, don't repeat calling. If you have called before, give others a chance. Because we're using one gadget.
And remember to switch off your TV, the sound coming from the TV. Just switch it off as you make your phone call.
Someone asked on the comments saying that, where is Senzo's phone? Very interesting question.
Where is Senzo's phone?
It's a very interesting question. It's a very interesting question. Where is it?
Where is Senzo's phone?
While we wait for someone to call, we will just read a bit of these comments.
Okay.
Pumeza, all right. Hello.
Hi, Kola.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We are good, and you?
We are good in yourself?
I to be short.
All right.
I hope I can make it short because wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, just try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think they've said so much that I wanted to say, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, first of all, the whole fighting thing in the kitchen makes no sense. It's too small for so many people to be fighting there.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then also, I think my worry here, I feel like the name dropping and everything that was happening there.
Yeah.
You could hear Tumelo speaking about Kelly a lot, and it felt like he was carrying Kelly's name in a high, somewhere.
Yeah.
But he was felt like he was trying to protect Kelly the whole time. So the whole thing that he tried to do in the end, trying to put Chicco there, I think he was just buying our trust. You know, when you have rehearsed something and then they said you must try not to make the people see that you're trying to protect this person. So now he had to spin the whole thing around Chicco, and not to say it didn't happen, but I think it was just one of the things to say, hey, people mustn't see that I'm trying to protect Kelly in this whole thing. Because I'm seeing a lot of him trying to pin Mandisa on this whole thing. That's just me thinking. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but that's where I feel this whole thing is going. You would see even the way he speaks of Mtogo, it feels like now Togo and Mandisa are in the same team. And I want to say something that it was probably not, it's not in the case, but from Podcast and Chill, there was this other friend of Senzo Meyiwa, and I took this to heart because this guy was not talking about the case. He was just talking about his memories with Senzo and all that. I think he's a Mhlongo guy. He was also a goalkeeper. Okay. So this guy spoke something that made a lot of sense to me, which I feel both Tumelo and them, are, they're not mentioning how the relationship was between, the three people being Senzo, Mandisa, and Kelly. It then now seems like Kelly was the girlfriend. Whilst Tongo spoke of that day, I'm happy that the party was, included, because the Mhlongo guy spoke about the party, and he said Senzo came with the wife with Kelly to that particular place where the pre-party was at. And when he got there, the wife was already there. So he saw Mandisa's car, and he told the friend that him and his wife have worked things out. Hence, he's going to go drop off Kelly because he doesn't want problems. Yeah. He wants to go drop off Kelly and come back to the party because the wife is already there. Even when the guy was trying to say, no, just go and greet and then go here, it's like, no, I'm just going to go drop off her and then I'm going to come back because I don't want problems. Meaning this guy and his wife were sort of in good terms. So he didn't want the wife to see Kelly and whatever. But now Tumelo makes it seem like, Kelly was, I feel like they were not in good terms, Senzo and Kelly. And also, I don't understand why, seeing that they had a house, Kelly, it feels like the reason for him to take his friends and go chill at the family home when these two people had a house, Bonana Kelly, it's shady also there why they had to go to that place and not chill in their, on space. Like these people had so much to do on that day for them to be traveling to Oslo to chill. I don't know this part. But I just honestly feel like Tumelo and the other guy, Tumelo is trying to make the whole thing seems like these two people were okay. Hence, the issue would have been Mandisa when I feel these people were not okay. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to end here.
Thank you very much. Let us get another one. Here we go. You've been calling. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good, thank you. Is that Zanzi reality?
It is Zanzi.
Welcome.
Yes, please.
Can you reduce?
Yes. No, yeah. I have.
Yeah.
I have. I hope there's no feedback anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, you're speaking to Densha.
Yes.
My question is, you see, there was a time when he was asked, he was shown a picture outside. Then he said, yes, that is outside. Remember, that is where I was even washing my hands. There was a tap outside. He said, that is where I washed my hands, to prepare our minds when he comes to say, when we went outside to smoke, I washed my hands after smoking. Who washes hands after a smoke, really?
Because they didn't want to come back with the smoke, allegedly. That's what he said.
No, not really. They were just preparing our minds that there was a tap outside. They wanted us to see the tap so that when they say, no, that is where I washed my hands. And then we'll say, oh, yeah, remember he said he was smoking. That is number one for me. Secondly, he was shown a hat. He said, can you recognize that hat? He said, yes, I do recognize it, but it was not the way it was because the person who came in wearing it. Definitely the person was wearing it when he came in. Or you have to say, oh, yes, that is the cape that he was, the hat that he was wearing, but it had white. You don't even have to see the white or the blue or what. You just have to say, yes, that is the hat that he was wearing. But because it was turned down, he couldn't see the white or what or anything. He's just trying to prepare our minds to say, in case there is no white underneath there or there is white, he will say, no, remember, I said I could not see the hat in the photo because that is not the way it was when he was wearing it. When I see you coming in and I see the hat you're wearing, when it falls on the ground, immediately I see it, I will know that that's the hat this guy was wearing. But why did he have to be the white? He was like, no, I couldn't see the white. So for me, I really don't buy his story of whatever that thing he was saying.
Okay. No, thank you very much.
So,
valid
Thank you.
points.
Valid points. Yeah, you can call now again, guys. We're giving just make it like, so that, because it pains me if I see you guys dropping. I know that you all want to say something. Now the phone is open. You can call. Someone said wanted to host with us, Emily. Just WhatsApp us. We'll see what we can do. Send the WhatsApp, then we can communicate.
Can talk.
Yeah.
We can talk. Send
guys,
WhatsApp.
Call. Please subscribe. As you subscribe, call and do whatever that you need to do down below. It's your place of playing. We'll wait for 1 or 2 people. If there's no one, we will close. I think it has been a long day.
These points that are being raised are very interesting.
Yeah.
They are blowing my mind. They are blowing my mind. I am like, yeah, wow.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
We are good, and you?
I'm good. It's Temba here.
Okay, Temba.
Hi, Temba.
Yes. I just have one question. Why? Where was Tumelo? I don't remember that question being asked. Where was Tumelo when the gunshot went off, and how far was he from the door of the bedroom in which he ran to? When the fire was shot, when the gun was shot, how far was he from the door of the bedroom, and how far was he from Senzo, where Senzo was pressing this guy, and what are the possibilities of him having seen the person that fired a shot when Senzo was pressing the other guy against the wall?
Yeah.
I don't remember those questions being asked.
Well, the defendants are going to come with those questions. So as we are giving them here, probably they might see them. I don't know. But I'm hoping that they see them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that question is also asked.
It's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
We are good, and
We
you?
are good, and you?
I'm good. Yo, guys, this is very much interesting. I can't even sleep. So, the thing that I need to know right now about this whole case, it's back and forth. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the judges, and the judge, he's not making it easy for any of us to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So with the day when Senzo was shot in the house, he was fighting 2 guys who ran to the park. But the question is, why are they having 5 suspects in the courtroom?
It's a very interesting thing that should be answered by people who are arrested.
Why are they having 5 people inside the courtroom? Not only 2 that were inside the house, who were maybe Senzo were fighting when they shot him.
Yeah.
Why are they having 5 suspects? Those guys, were they paid to be there inside the courtroom to cover up the story or to cover anything?
Yeah.
What's happening? Because that doesn't make sense.
Yes, it doesn't. Thank you very much.
Guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
One more caller to go. Please subscribe, guys. Press that like and subscribe, guys. Subscribe for those who are not subscribers. I'm sorry for subscribers because they are already subscribers. Binge watchers. I'm talking to binge watchers. Please subscribe, man. We need you to subscribe so that we can have that oomph.
Yeah, your subscription helps a lot.
Yes.
It is helping a lot, as well as you pressing that like button. It recommends it to people that don't know this is happening, that they don't know that there's people here on these YouTube streets who have opened a platform to share.
When was Kelly's phone taken? That's what is not clear. But maybe if Kelly is gonna come to testify, we will know because
she will help. She'll really help this case.
Yeah,
she'll really help it. She's
so
very
guys. One caller to go. Please call us and ask a question. Ask a man.
No, this is not ask a man.
Then ask a man. Ask a question.
This is ask Mr. or ask the nation.
You're asking the nation. This is the nation. Nation of Mzansi is here. Just ask a question. And there you go. You just dropped. Why are you dropping?
Why are you hanging up? Please come back. Call us.
Call us, guys.
You know what blew my mind?
No, I don't know.
Okay. That's a way for you to shut me down because you know where I'm going.
Okay, no, do talk about what blew.
I have a question. Like, I was very touched when an episode played and Kelly was saying that Senzo's mom was busy crying about who was gonna feed her, right? So Mina, I'm like the watch, the BMW. You know, holding on to material positions. Yeah. Like that to me is like
it's off.
It's off.
It's off. Say it. Don't be bushing around. Say
to me it's off, guys. Okay. It's off. Like
Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, this is Kings.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Hello.
What's your
you're
opinion?
live. You're live. Just shoot.
Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah,
yes,
we're here.
We are here. Listening.
Yeah, this is King. What I just want to know is this guy Tumele. He said he was coming from the hospital.
Yes.
And he was extorted if he went with another woman from there. When he came from home, and then he find another policeman, he take their phones. So where was Kelly that time? Because he didn't go with Kelly that time.
Yeah.
So I want to know why that police he take a phone for Kelly, but Kelly was not going with that man. Yeah.
Thank you for the question, and we hope that someone's gonna answer it down here.
Thank you, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you. Hello.
Another woman.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure if...
Yeah, you're alive. Just shoot.
Just shoot. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Can I please remain anonymous?
It's okay.
All right, it's okay.
Okay. I've been following this case also. I've got one or two questions that still puzzles my mind.
Yeah.
One being that I remember the witness mentioned the fact that they were outside and their phone were taken.
Yes.
Now, when the phones were taken, his phone was taken.
Yes.
I will assume everybody who was in the house phone was taken.
Yeah.
But now, after them being accompanied to a place, to another place where Kelly and Senzo were staying, we find that Kelly makes a call after the police or after those police were trying to come in to their premises and stuff like that.
Yes.
She made the call.
Yes.
My question there is that which phone was she using? That's number one.
Yeah.
Which phone was it taken? Was her phone taken or was her phone not taken?
Yes.
So that puzzles my mind. Because I will assume that her phone was also one of the ones that were confiscated at the time they were in Vosloorus. Yes. So that leaves me with a lot of questions. So
yes,
from my side.
We hope tomorrow it's gonna be answered.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Right, Emil, I should be closing, but someone's calling. Someone keeps on calling.
Let's open the lines. I don't mind, guys. Call us.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was still at the whole taking of the watch, refusing with the BMW. I'm like, yo, girl, you were the one who was saying Senzo's mom was crying, was gonna feed her. The only thing she could think about, hey. I was shocked about that.
Yeah.
That blew me away. I thought that, you know what, I've been in traumatic situations, and let me tell you, I've lost phones, I've lost things. Hello, welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Hi, how are you?
We're
We're good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, shoot. Your opinion.
Yes. I was at work when I was watching this case. I've been watching it very closely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question is, if now this Khumalo guy is able to recognize the perpetrator, why when the first guy was arrested, why didn't he object and help the police and say, no, guys, this is not the guy? You see, so now he's able to recognize the guy, meaning he knew that the guy that they were arresting before was not the guy.
Yes.
So now why is, meaning he was going to be silent if that guy was arrested at the first place.
Very interesting.
Yes, so that is my question.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Reconnecting. Well, you will call again because you are reconnecting right now.
And Bongi Mangela, member, says, you are right, Emily. If his mom is crying about who's going to feed her, that was her child. Like her supporting her mom. She must take back the car in the watch. Hello, welcome to Mzansi Reality.
We are good.
Good, man. I just joined the show now. I'm not sure if this question has been asked.
Yes.
Okay.
Khumalo said Longe was the first one to jump out and push the intruder.
Yes.
So I just wanted to find out. My question is, what about the second intruder? Did Longe also push the second intruder?
It's something that I've been pondering on, and actually I've said it here because I would, according to me, if I create a picture, it's someone who was following this guy, probably not in the house as yet. So as long as maybe is running out because the first guy was in the door, he would have come across this guy, you know?
Yeah.
But that's when I say he became invisible, and probably also the guy was invisible and they didn't see each other.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get clarity tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hopefully cross-examination, some of the things will start to make sense.
Guys, press that subscribe button. There's a caller here who's been calling, and I'm feeling sorry now. If I had a time, I'll call. Hello. The sound behind.
Welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Oh, hello?
Yes, you are live.
Okay. Hi, Emily. You speaking to Tso?
Yes, Tso.
And
Hi, Tso.
I just have I just have one question that has been bugging me.
Yes.
They said the Polo was parked behind the X6 when Longwe came. And after that, when they moved the car, Longwe's car was not there anymore. Who moved Longwe's car, and where was Longwe when the body was being moved and all that?
I also asked that.
That is the question that has been bugging me. But hey, I guess we'll have to wait.
Let us wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Hey, my daughter. It's tough.
Yeah.
Caller,
Keep calling.
Keep calling. Don't.
Caller, please call
Hello.
us back. Hi, you're live on Mzansi Reality.
Is this Mzansi Reality?
Yes,
Correct.
you're live. Shoot.
Oh, thank you. Sanibonani. Ngicela ukukhuluma uLimlwana.
Shaya call.
Kulu.
Niyaphila kodwa ngenza kwethu.
Siyaphila mfowethu.
Siyaphila.
Angithokoze lokho no. The reason why ngicela ukukhuluma ulimi lwami ukuthi ngikhathele ukukhuluma isiLungu ngihlala e-America. I'm following this case kodwa bafowethu.
Yeah.
Mina bafowethu engizokusho i-concern yami is about the judge.
Yeah.
He's very biased.
Yeah.
He's very biased in such a way that when advocate therefore was still there actually I think he's still there though. I mean, as a representative of those four, right?
Apparently he's not. Yeah.
I mean, he was very biased. Every time that way he used to, you know, when therefore is about to say something that the judge doesn't agree with, he will interject every time. You know, stop him not to mention his point that what is he trying to do. I mean, as a result, that advocate therefore got irritated and pissed off, and then that is why he decided to quit. So, and he's doing the same thing with Tobani.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing with Tobani, and then I'm like, is this judge what, I mean, it looks like to me there's a scheme that is going on. Because if Mshololo is speaking, Mshololo, you know, uyamnikela aqhubeke ipoint lakhe.
Yeah.
Yeah, bon? So what is this? What is this between these two guys, Utefo and Tobani? You know, so in ngaleyo ndlela mina kungenza ngibone ukuthi, I mean, there's something that we don't know here, that we will never find the truth here. And this guy Utumelo, unamanga lo mfana.
Yeah.
You know, he contradicts himself like crazy. Even Mshindane Ngane can see that he would unamanga lo mfana. And you can tell that he is coached. And manje ngendlela akakhojwe ngayo is hard to, you know, to ukulandelanisa everything indlela abemkhoja ngayo. Even I mean ulokhuzana what is called the state prosecutor, he is doing so much to help him, so much.
Yeah.
But then I think in the end, I think the only way for this, in order for this case to be resolved, I think it needed to be assigned to a different judge and going back to where exactly the case where it belongs, you know, because the judge already, I mean, is in, you know, is corrupt. But it's hard to say that, you know. But we all can see that he's very biased. I mean, according to the way I see. And the last comment I want to say to you guys, thank you very much for what you are doing, because not all of us, you know, follow the case. I do follow the case because I'm here in Ohio, in the United States. We are 6 hours behind. By the time I wake up in the morning, the case is already started, and I have to prepare myself to go to work. And then I will catch up with you guys, and later on when I see you guys, you know, and then I'm about to join, you know, and subscribe. So guys, I really appreciate what you are doing. Keep doing a good work with training. Miss Kanyisele, I hope this thing goes well, but I'm doubting that this family, the Meyiwa family, will ever find out the truth and what happened in that house.
Yes. No, siyabonga kakhulu mfowethu.
I'm sorry kakhulu bafowethu.
Thank you.
Siyabonga.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Emily, Tandunga Tandi. I'm about to close this thing. I'm about to shut it down. Please subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. I know that other people are from other countries.
People should let us know in the comments if... Wow.
Hello. Hello?
You're live on Mzansi Reality. Hi.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
good
live. Yes.
Good evening to you and your team.
Yes.
My name is Chimani.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to ask about something that you mentioned earlier on. The flight ticket. I know it's something that is still to be discussed tomorrow. Okay, but what you said earlier on, I want to share the same sentiment with you. I know it's still speculation. That I heard you say it could be that the guy arrived here earlier on Friday so that he can be, caught and all of that, which I share the same, speculation with you. But the point I'm raising is that in an event, this is true, that the guy was here on Friday and the delay was done deliberately so that they can coach this guy. Okay? Now, my question is then, should this be true and the prosecutor actually, okay, maybe I should have asked the first question to say, do prosecutors also take an oath when they do the examination?
Yes, they are under oath. Once they are in court, they are under oath.
Okay, right. My question would then be, let us say, hypothetically, of course, it is true that the guy was here on Friday and they lied under oath.
Yes.
That his plane was late he would arrive late on Monday because he got a late flight, only to find that he was here on Friday. Okay, supposedly. Now, what happens to the prosecutor because he lied under oath? Because he also confirmed to the magistrate, to the judge, that he received a message and he confirmed. We assume he confirmed because he's the one who arranges the witnesses. He confirmed that the witness is going to be late.
He faces the mighty law.
Yes. I want to know what happens to the case. Does he continue?
He must face the mighty law, actually be strike off this case and also be debarred if he can. Yes.
Okay. I'm just hoping that happens because I think the guy's lying.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Hi, you're live on Mzansi Reality.
Hello. Reconnecting. Network.
Hello.
Telkom is not playing with us in South Africa, guys. Eskom.
Load shedding.
Eskom.
Bonkench. Even the internet is acting funny. Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
Evening.
Yes, you're live.
You're live.
Hi.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I've been trying to get in, but thank you for allowing me.
Yes.
Yeah, this case is really confusing a bit, but I was so that advocate therefore didn't withdraw on the case.
Yeah.
Due to his experience that he has for SAPS, he should have tried to interrogate, to check whether the correct procedure was followed accordingly. Because I won't be long. It's just that I'm just a little bit puzzled regarding the car that he was driving, the BMW. Remember, after they came from the hospital, the sergeant in Tetwa saw them. And in that car, there was a Senzo's blood where the forensic needs to take some samples on it. But they allow her to utilize it.
Yes.
And also to go to her house at Marble whatsoever. They allow her to just drive up and down with it. The police didn't take anything like the car itself for the forensic.
Yes.
And secondly, how can you remember when they said with Dumelo they went to see so after he passed on, just to look at him for the second time. Then Kelly kissed him in his forehead and then took off the watch.
It was Dumelo who kissed the forehead.
Kelly took off his watch.
Yes.
While the police are not there, Maybe there was forensic on that watch because they were holding each other. So why took it off?
Hey, we are struggling to hear you.
So that is my submission.
Okay.
Sorry?
We were struggling to hear you, but it's okay.
Okay. Maybe it's a network. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
But
No
do you
problem.
hear me now?
Yeah, we heard you.
heard about the
you.
watch.
Yeah, we heard about the watch. We heard about everything. I think you were done. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
guys,
hearing important questions here.
Nice questions, nice discussion. It was very nice holding this conversation today. We are still on 1,200 people watching us. We love you. Keep that going. We will leave you to continue on this platform. Subscribe. For all those who said, there's one guy who said, I think it's a guy or a girl, said he wanted to co-host with us. He wanted to feel this thing. Hello.
The same number, use the WhatsApp line. Hi, welcome to Mzansi Reality. You're live. Hello.
Mr. Anonymous.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, you are live.
Am I audible enough there?
Yes.
You are a bit audible, yes.
Hello?
Yeah, you are still just shoot because we are.
Okay, no, I'll be very much short, Mr. Anonymous.
Okay.
As well as Emily there, but long enough to cover the faces.
Yeah.
I just wanted to comment with this Tumelo guy. For me, I feel like this Tumelo guy is lying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very much disappointed with the Judge Maumela, the way he treats Titi Tobane.
Mm-hmm.
And also this state advocate, of which is Mr. Baloyi. You can see that everything is being prepared. They told Tumelo to follow a certain procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Like Uguti, if they ask him some of the question, how finally are responding, you can tell by the way of is indlela yenza ngayo Baloyi, you can tell ukuthi lento lena bayiprepareile. And another thing is that I feel like Mr. Baloyi today busy echitha nje isikhathi for nothing, and some of his questions awahlanga nje nokuhlangana. And another thing, Mr. Anonymous, that I would like to ask, is it possible for Advocate therefore to come back? And another thing I'd like to ask, there was this lady, Bebe Veiws today, or when the Madrid logs, I was wondering which Uban Lentombazane is one of the family from the Meyiwa family or not. Yeah, but another thing is that for Senzela Mzansi reality show, because I'm not following that case that much, but if thank you so much.
Thank you.
I used to give credit when they are due. Thank you so much for what you are doing for us, and I would like to urge everybody here to subscribe and like.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. One advocate,
Therefore, you know that game of politics. You know, just think of therefore as Jacob Zuma situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so we
that
keep
was Senzo's cousin.
we keep you busy enough so that you don't focus on the good things. Yeah.
The lady with the dreadlocks was Senzo's cousin.
Yes.
Now, very interesting. See, under Tabete, the robbers didn't steal a soccer star's watch.
Hello?
Hello, Mzansi Reality. How's it, guys?
We are good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
We're on the element of Tefo. I think you must invite Tefo to become one of the hosts in this reality, so that he can freely say what he wants to say with no hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now,
that would be great.
Here's the issue now that I've got.
Yeah.
This guy was crying yesterday, questioned by the prosecutor.
Yes.
Is he going to cope with the lawyers of the defense?
I would like to believe that he would cope. I would like to believe that he would cope. Look, today he was joyful. He was jolly. He was playing. He was funny. He was even laughing at some point. I wasn't seeing.
He was even correcting objections. You know what
like,
I mean?
I feel like the crying of yesterday was aligned to what was supposed to happen yesterday.
My thinking is he forgot his lines. So he needs an excuse to get out of the stand.
No, look, what if I say, maybe if we follow that narrative of there was a line, but you didn't have enough time to practice up to stretching the case, you know? When you start stretching the case, then it ends up opening the loopholes. That's why we will end up hearing things that we are not supposed to hear, of who visited, what was saying.
Like the watch that the robbers did not steal.
It's like freestyle, man. You know, freestyle.
Yeah, I just want to take you to the idols, something out of line. You practice the song, the lyrics and everything, and you're perfect.
Yeah.
But by the time you stand in front of those judges, you end up forgetting the lyrics and then you mess up everything.
Yeah,
Similarly, could have happened in this case, where he was coached, this is how you answer. When I ask you this, you say this. And somehow he missed, like, you feel like, no, I think I might have lost it. No, the only way to actually get out of this, which I think also was coached, is that be emotional, do something so that we can actually end up stopping the case so that you can come back on the next day.
Yes.
So, my question is, maybe that happened, and then they called the agent, and what happens, okay, they had a meeting, now this is how you need to answer when I'm asking this question, and all that carrying on. I don't see this guy surviving the prosecutors, the lawyers tomorrow or the next coming days, because they'll grill him in such a way that even if he cries, they'll let him cry and come back. Problem is, when he cries with the lawyers, he's not gonna get any guidance or what's coming next. And now the lawyers are asking for this plain ticket. It's simple. Is this a credible witness or not?
Yes.
And if he was here in Joburg prior to Monday, now we know that he's been around and he lied in court, or the prosecutor lied on behalf of this guy, saying that he wasn't around here, he was in Durban. How do we trust the man?
Exactly.
Now, some people were saying this. I'm also following the case. We've got so many people that are being accused of killing Senzo. 5 guys now. We only hear of 2 people. The other 3 people, what were they doing? Is it maybe they found the Kelly cell phone with them, or the gun, or whatever? But now this guy just said now, Senzo was fighting this person. Where were the other guys? And now we hear now for the first time that he punched one of the guys. Oh, by the way, he was limping. We mustn't forget that.
Yes.
And he somehow managed to get there and then punch this guy once, left Senzo there, ran to the bathroom or bedroom when the gunshot was fired.
Yes.
And now we're talking of a childhood friend of Senzo.
Yes.
Who left a friend who actually called him, gave him money to come to Joburg to enjoy time with him. And then this happens.
Yes.
He left him there.
Yes.
After Senzo has done all he's done for him to get him to Joburg.
Yes.
Now, we hear what he says. I've got a feeling that Senzo was about to leave the house. This is my own perception.
Yes.
He was about to leave the house when the gunshot was fired.
Yes.
We can remember that first witness. I can't remember his name now, of a Soto guy.
Yes.
Musia.
Musia. He then pointed and even explained how this gun was fired, how it entered Senzo and exited on the other side. And all that now, with the Senzo at close range with this guy who shot him, according to this Tumelo guy, it's a different story.
Yeah, it is.
Remember, there's going to be a conclusion on this thing. There's going to be a summary how Senzo was shot. And now we've got 2 versions already. From a distance, at this particular angle, now this one is at a short range, and Senzo was up against this guy, literally, from what he was saying. Maybe we should get, like some of the comments was mentioning that, where are the ballistics? Where is the clothes the Senzo was wearing? Where is Senzo's phone? Where is Kelly's phone? I mean, the head. Who did it belong to? If it belonged to Kelly or Kelly's sister or a mom, what were they doing there when this head was found on the floor? You see. Now, another version of the kids is Kelly ran to the bedroom because she was afraid of her own life, and then she remembered one of her kids was actually out there with the strangers. He went back to fetch them. The other version is when this Tumelo guy got into the bedroom, the kids were sleeping already. So there are these other versions. Now, the other thing with the judge, I'm not too worried about the judge. The judge can do whatever he can. He's so limited in his actions. The one thing that he was consistent with was to not allow the prosecutor to present this issue of heads of argument without giving the lawyers a chance to go through the whatever he wanted to present. This also happened to Advocate Defo, if you could recall. He wanted to present some heads of argument. It was never allowed. At least in that sense, he was somehow consistent. But should this case go against these 5 guys and the judge somehow get his way, there is other senior courts that actually can overrule his decision. It can run up to the Supreme Court, up to the Constitutional Court. I'm not that much worried about the judge. The only worry that I've got, it will take time for the country and the Senzo's family to actually know what happened on that fateful day. So that is the main issue I've got. The judge can do whatever they can try to oppress this poor TT as much as he wants. But he will get his time. He will question this person as much as he wants. The only thing that might be against that I've heard today was repeating the questions, because I think the prosecutor ran out of ideas or questions of trying to narrate his story, and he kept on repeating, maybe trying to get the different version from Utuman. Personally, I don't see Tumelo surviving. He's going to be grilled. I don't see him coming out in one piece. And he's going to make mistakes. His lawyers will note down. The other witness somehow will talk something different from what he's saying. Now, here's another story. Kelly phoned somebody when the cops were not allowed into Ms. Mulbarton property. Who did she call?
Very interesting. It must be someone very powerful to...
Not a cop, one thing for sure. We must remember that Advocate Defo, maybe somehow it was all a plan. He mentioned somebody in the house will testify who actually shot Senzo. And the person was in the house. We shouldn't forget that. We should also remember that there was a meeting outside Kelly's house where Senzo was shot by some senior people. Don't we think that Kelly called one of those guys to try to get some guidance on how to handle the cops by her place? We don't know that.
We don't know.
It could be go for all we care. But the person that Kelly called, that is a powerful person who could actually somehow maybe instruct the cops to leave that place, not to end. We don't know that. But somebody who was called is someone who's got authority. But yeah, only time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But it's very interesting.
Very interesting.
I hope that he survives after this. My other concerning issue is the other guy who was in the house apparently is related to Senzo's wife.
Yes.
Is he safe wherever he is?
He should be very safe because...
Does he got the security, whatever they call state or protection house and all that?
Yeah, he needs to be safe. He's a very important puzzle for me.
He could come with a different version because his sister is involved in this whole issue. And it's also he's a friend of Senzo that maybe the country can rely on. Because this one, surely we can. This one, we cannot rely on him.
This one is not the one.
Now, my concern with that guy is if he comes out, maybe day 1, day 2, he's saying something different from what these people would be saying. Would his life be safe? Can we get to the end of the story? We shouldn't forget some people have already died in this case. Mr. Sisto. And we don't hear how they died, but we know something is fishy. And all the people who died are those who are against this current case. So I'm concerned about that, honestly speaking. That should he come, should they know that he's not actually siding with them, then something can happen to him as well. That's what I just want to put out there, Chet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, that's a very good closure.
That's the way we should
guys,
wrap it up.
It's a bye from us. Keep on subscribing as we do that. Please subscribe.
Tomorrow, if you couldn't call today, tomorrow is another day. The lines will be open. I think I'm going to keep it very, very, very brief tomorrow. Because I see a lot of people want to say a lot. A lot of people have opinions. Guys, thank you for joining us. Continue the conversation on the comments down below. And until tomorrow, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you like this type of commentary, encourage us with your like. Also encourage us with your subscription.
2 seconds. You've got 2 seconds.
Greetings, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
I'm speaking to Timsani Mapumulo here.
Okay.
I just had two concerns here. Longo managed to push the guy and run away. But females managed to fight him with a gun on his hand. It's kind of questionable. And secondly, I didn't get a clear version on when was the cell phone taken. Was it before the fight or was it after the fight? And my last point is, this guy has been emphasizing, if I heard clearly, that Mtogo after Orlando Pirates players came, Mtogo went with the players to continue with the party after Meyiwa was dead. So, hey, there's a lot going on in this case. It's very interesting. I won't be long. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Say bye, guys. Please subscribe. Bye.